Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're making gnocchi but out of broccoli, and we're going to serve it with a creamy cashew sauce. It's a fun twist on the classic and it requires only a few ingredients, so let's get cooking. For the gnocchi we'll be using just the florets, as the stalks can be a little bit tough, but don't throw them away as you can keep them for a stir fry, or I just like to eat them raw dipped in hummus. Cut your florets into roughly the same size, and then we're going to cook them in salted boiling water for about 5 to 8 minutes. I like to cook them slightly longer than normal in order to mash them for the gnocchi. Drain your gnocchi and we're going to leave it to steam dry for about 5 to 10 minutes. You can now either use a fork or a potato masher to create essentially a puree of broccoli, and then we're going to add the other gnocchi ingredients. You can also do this in a food processor or with a stick blender for a smoother mix. Add in your pasta flour or regular plain flour also works, and then we're going to add in some nutritional yeast for a nice cheesy flavour. Also going in is some grated nutmeg, ideally fresh if you can, some dried or fresh thyme, and lastly a good crack of black pepper and some flaky sea salt. This is probably a dish I'd make on the weekend, as it's a little bit more involved and takes a little bit more time than your sort of weeknight dinner. Mix together until it forms a dough. It might be slightly sticky, but if it's so sticky that it's not coming away from the bowl, then just add a touch of flour, but only a little bit at a time. Your gnocchi is going to be a beautiful bright green colour, and it's going to have the added nutrients from the broccoli. Then get your dough out onto a floured worktop and just fold it in on itself a few times. Don't knead it too much though, or else it'll develop the gluten too much and you'll get a very tough gnocchi. Now just cut your dough into 4 pieces and we're going to start rolling the gnocchi dough out. For cleaning your chopping board, a bread dough scraper is a useful tool. You can get plastic ones or metal ones. Then just lightly dust a tray with flour ready to place on your gnocchi. If you're going to add it straight to the boiling water, then skip this step. Before shaping your gnocchi, I'd suggest cooking just a little bit of dough, just to ensure it has a good flavour and that the gnocchi doesn't fall apart. If it does, just give it a quick little extra knead. To shape the gnocchi, we're going to simply roll out the dough into a sausage shape, roughly 2 centimeters wide. A little bit of flour here is useful, but too much can make it slide and thus make it difficult to roll. Then cut into smaller pieces, about 1 to 2 centimeters wide. You can make them bigger or smaller depending on your preference. I sort of cut down and then flick them into the flour, and I'm doing this the opposite way to usual due to the camera position, and that's why it might look a little bit awkward here. You can then gently roll the gnocchi down a floured fork to add these sort of rivets into the gnocchi, which will help attach to the sauce. I don't always do this. A quicker shape is to simply press down on the gnocchi, creating almost a slight bowl for the sauce, or you can just leave them as they are, like little pillows. Now we're ready to cook the gnocchi. I like to use my dough scraper to quickly scoop them off the floured tray and into the boiling water. Cook them in fast simmering salted water for about 3 to 4 minutes, or once they rise to the top, you can then scoop them out with a slotted spoon, let them drain a little bit, and then get them into a bowl. We're then going to drizzle over a little bit of olive oil to stop them from sticking. If you're doing this a while before you want to eat them, you can dump them into cold water to stop the cooking process, then just drain them, add the olive oil again, and keep them in the fridge for later. Or if you don't want to fry the gnocchi, you can simply scoop them out the water and straight into your sauce. For the indulgent white wine cashew sauce, we're going to start by finely slicing 1 shallot and a couple of cloves of garlic. Into a heated pan, we're going to add a teaspoon of olive oil, followed by the shallots, and cook until they start to caramelize. Then we're going to add the garlic and cook for a further 1 minute or so. This is a delicious way of elevating a simple cashew cream. We're going to deglaze the pan with white wine or some veggie stock with a little bit of lemon juice or white wine vinegar. Let it simmer until most of the liquid is evaporated. There will still be about a tablespoon or 2 of the reduced liquid. Then add the caramelized onion and reduced wine into the blender, and then we're going to add in the cashews. I've soaked these in warm water for about 2 hours so they're nice and plump and easy to blend. You can also soak them overnight in cold water. Also going in is some mustard and some nutritional yeast. Add some water and blend until perfectly smooth. You can add more water if needed. You want to sort of puree, and you can make it really thick or more saucy depending on your preference. I also realised that I didn't season it, so I added some more salt and pepper. Lastly, we just need to fry the gnocchi in a hot pan with some olive oil. Don't turn them too often as you want to develop a nice golden crust on them. You can either toss them like so, or be a bit more meticulous and flip them individually. For added indulgence, throw in some vegan butter around the edges. This will give the gnocchi a lovely nutty, rich flavour. And season generously with black pepper and a little flaky sea salt. They'll start to smell almost like roasted broccoli as they cook, so delicious. To serve, dollop the creamy white wine cashew sauce, followed by a spoon or two of that lovely green gnocchi. I'm going to serve them with some slices of sun-dried tomato, and a little fresh rocket works really well. And as a finishing touch, yes, even more black pepper and a little bit of lemon zest for freshness, and you're ready to enjoy. That is incredible. Oh, so good. Honestly, next level. If you want to impress your friends, this is the dish to do it with. Thank you for watching. If you're looking for some more plant-based cooking inspiration, then check out this video.